A lot of times people online, myself included, can get really far in their English learning journey. They can hold a conversation with a native speaker really well, and they're tempted to think, because I can handle a native speaker, because I can even attend lectures, I can complete homework and whatnot, I am the same as a native speaker. And you might even get away with saying, I'm really proficient, I'm really fluent in all the ways that matter, right? Be it your pronunciation, your accent, your vocabulary. But there is a slight chance that you're underestimating a native speaker's level. For instance, a college-educated native speaker by the age of 25 will have no less than, 15,000 words in their vocabulary. And that's not even including the well-read ones. People that go to school for English literature, people that go to school for law, for anything that requires a lot of reading and writing will typically have an even bigger vocab size. You can swap the word out. I am near proficient, I'm very fluent. But to say that you're the same as a native speaker who has been reading their whole life, who might be older than you, who are more well-read than you, who just has a better command of this language than you, understandably, right? They simply just put in more time. That sentiment can smack of hubris. And even as a language teacher, as a language educator, I try to refrain from saying I am just like a native speaker. That being said, there are rare circumstances where you might even surpass a native speaker. Let's say you're talking to someone younger than you. Let's say you're talking to someone that isn't as well read. Let's say you're talking to someone who's not really spending a lot of time on the internet. You might even know more lingo than they do. So in those rare or sometimes more often circumstances, you might do better than a native speaker. Eventually, as you get older and you being the non-native speaker and them being the native speaker, you both hold a steady habit of reading and acquiring more words. Eventually, you'll get really, really close and you might even surpass them. But I'm here to tell you that reaching a native speaker's level, first of all, it's not even a real goal because native speakers are not a monolith. A 4-year-old English native speaker is a native speaker. Do you want to be like them? A 40-year-old law professor native speaker is also a native speaker. It's unrealistic, right? One is aiming too high and one is aiming too low. I want to really get down to the nitty-gritty. Language is basically broken down into 3 elements: your pronunciation, grammar rules, and I want to quantify it. I want to get down to the number. And the number is 3,000 words, okay? According to Longman, Oxford, Cambridge, all these major English dictionaries, all these major English publishers, they've concluded that as long as you can have a pretty steady command of these most common 3,000 words, you can get by. You can handle 90% of the conversations. If you run into a word that they randomly whipped out, you could just ask them on the spot. Or when you're reading something, when you're watching something new, you can kind of guess from the context what this word means, or you can use a dictionary to look up that new word. Obviously, just having 3,000 words isn't a native level. It's not even proficient in college classrooms, but it's a starting point. And I think that is a more realistic, a more doable, a more tangible, a more quantifiable goal than just randomly saying, I want to be native. Pronunciation, I mean how to say a word and make it understood by the other person and vice versa, right? I'm not talking about accent. It's perfectly normal. I have an accent, you have an accent, Americans have an accent. It's all relative, right? When I say you have an accent, it's always negative. Why is it, right? As long as people can understand me, why should it matter, right? You can't say, oh, so-and-so's English isn't good or isn't native just by their accent. And similarly, just because you can sound really native, just because you can sound American, doesn't mean your English is at the native level quite yet. You might have a jump start, you might have a good foundation, but language isn't just sounding good. Language is more than just the pronunciation and the accent side of things. And besides, I think a lot of people, especially outside laymen, when they judge someone's English level and decide, oh, they're native or not native, they very often only look at their pronunciation. It's always pronunciation and accent. If someone has a really good command over their vocabulary, but has a bit of Chinese accent, has a bit of Japanese accent, I feel like a lot of times amateurs are very tempted to say, oh, they're not native. Sure, they're not native in the sense that they don't sound native, but they can carry a conversation in their respective field. They may even sound more articulate than their native speaker counterparts. So all in all, no, you probably won't be able to reach a native speaker's level, particularly one that is highly educated, that is educated especially in the liberal arts department, and nor should you want to be, because one, it's not necessary, and two, not every native speaker is that well read. If your goal is to just get by, get along with people, and get your message across, then 3,000, at most from 3,000 to 7,000, 8,000 is enough. 8,000 is still nowhere near a native speaker's level, but is way more sufficient. It can cover 99% of the conversations. And guess what? Once you get to 8,000, you're naturally inclined to learn more, just like I am. I'm constantly reading stuff with the goal not to learn English, but to learn this particular knowledge. It just so happened to be in English. So learning new words, learning new expressions happens to be a byproduct. The goal should be to reach a proficient level, one that is sufficient for your career, for your own interest. For me personally, I started out reading a lot of nonfiction books. Lately, my goal has kind of shifted a little bit. I've been reading memoirs, sometimes fictions. I've been wanting to sound more articulate. I've been wanting to write in a more succinct way. Eventually, I might sound more and more like a native speaker, but every now and then, you'll catch me slip up. I'll make mistakes. The words I write don't make sense. I will misspell something. No need to beat yourself over it, just like I don't beat myself over it. And finally, I want to share this quote with you, which says, I want to have the biggest vocabulary so that I can express myself fully and accurately. And to that point, I also want to add that, yes, I want to do all of that, but I also want to use my bigger vocab size to access information, to learn things faster. It's not about who gets to be better, who gets to have agency over a language, who gets to own a language. It's about becoming a hub, a cultural hub where people can learn things from you, you can learn things from other people, and the bigger the vocab size, the better it is for you, the easier it is for you to do so. And sure, native speakers might have a head start, but sometimes they get complacent, they get content, they stop reading, at which point you could potentially catch them up and even surpass them. Not saying that it should be your goal, but in terms of vocab sizes, it's definitely doable. You should aim to acquire more words to help your life, to help your learning, to help your communication,